Hey, what is going on, freedom fighters? Welcome back to another Tyranny Response Tuesday here on Break the Chains Media. Today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026, and we are enjoying a beautiful sunny day here in the Mile High State, the centennial state that is Colorado. Unfortunately, we have been infiltrated by many bad actors, many nefarious, debaucherous individuals, let's just say that, because this past weekend I went out to do some on the ground, on the reporting, boots on the ground journalism at the local drag queen Storytime here in Arvada, Colorado, at the Arvada Center. And let me tell you, I found a lot of interesting stuff. Some things I didn't learn, some things I didn't know until I got there, and some things I already had a kind of an inkling suspicion on what was really going on. I've got some great clips, I've got some great takes, and we're gonna break it all down. My two thoughts on everything, and I'm sure everyone in the audience can agree to some extent of what are the things I'm going to be breaking down. I just think it's crazy that we are allowing this type of behavior of adult men to dress up as women in makeup and in drag and all these highly hyper-feminized, hyper-sexualized theme around drag queens. That is what a drag queen is, right? It is a minstrel performance of accentuated feminine features, and that is what drag queens do. That is their whole intent and purpose. Men dressing up as accentuated, over-the-top, flamboyant women. And having these people read to children as young as 2 years old in this building, it was very unsettling, to say the least. And we're going to watch the videos. We're going to do a breakdown of that in just a few minutes. On this live stream as well, we are going to do some breakdowns, some shout-outs, some representatives running for the midterms. We're going to be doing a conservative candidate roundup for anyone running in North Jeffco, or I can't fit them all. I got a lot of people that I know in my circle, so we're going to be doing like a blast. And I think I got five or six people that we're going to be doing shout outs for the House District candidates, as well as Tim Bennett and my pick for Attorney General. So we're going to do some Colorado candidate roundup in the second half of this video. But if this is the first time joining Break the Chains Media, smash that thumbs up button, share this video, share this link, because we got to get the word out. We got to get the information to the people of the Mile High State of Colorado, because the midterms are only 4 months away, folks. We got to jump on this train. We got to get people educated and involved and understanding what we're up against in this midterm election. When we talk about election practice, we talk about mail-in ballot practices, all these strange things that are happening in our state. We have to be keeping an eye out for that. But if this is another way you can support the channel, you can check out breakthechains.media. That is the website. That is the landing page. Jump over to the top right corner, click on Realm Walker Hot Sauce, because Realm Walker Hot Sauce is the official hot sauce of this independent journalist, independent broadcast, independent media source. Realm Walker Hot Sauce. Travel the 9 realms of Norse mythology through hot sauce. From mild to extreme heat, you got all your different flavors, all named after different realms of the Norse saga, the Norse mythology. You've got Ragnarok, you've got Niflheim, you've got Midgard, you've got Jotunheim, you got flavorful and excellent different flavors for you to check out. Follow Realm Walker Hot Sauce on Instagram, or reach out to me, Break the Chains Media, and we'll get you some bottles coming at you. Check out all the flavors here. And folks, big news. The biggest of news is, this is the greatest, the biggest, the most excellent of news, okay? Check it out, folks. The Rocky Mountain Voice is hosting the Freedom Fest June 26th and 27th. This is going to be the culmination of the Colorado conservative candidates and roundup for everything and anything related to the great state of Colorado, right? the Rocky Mountain Voice Freedom Festival. We are going to be having so many great speakers and participants and events happening on this 2-day event on June 26th and 27th in Castle Rock, Colorado, Douglas County Fairgrounds. We're going to have Tina Peters, we're going to have Greg Gutfeld, we're going to have Laura Logan, Secretary Chris Wright, Nick Shirley, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and Data Republican, among many other events and things that you can do with your family. We've got a rodeo, we've got a drone show, we've got the Back the Blue Police Gala. So if you want to show up, you want to be a part of this, celebrating Colorado's 150th birthday, as well as America's 250th birthday. This is what we're doing in Colorado. This is how we create the movement. This is how we inspire people to get involved in your state and local politics. So I encourage everyone to show up to the Rocky Mountain Voice Freedom Festival. You can get your tickets at rmvfreedomfest.com, and you can check out all your different pricing and all your different price availabilities there. Definitely go check it out. Rocky Mountain Voice Freedom Fest. rmvfreedomfest.com. Now, this is a little bit closer to home, a little bit more impactful for me. This is a photo. This is a photo of myself and 3 other excellent and amazing Colorado freedom fighters and patriots who stood up against government tyranny for decades. You've got myself, you've got my good friend Info Ninja, you got my other friend Turtle, and you've got the legend that is the hero of Old Town Arvada, Johnny Hurley, with the 2 up and the 1 down, holding it down on the far right side, the far left side of your screen. I don't know what you're looking at, but Johnny Hurley over here standing next to me was gunned down 5 years ago by Arvada police after he took out an active shooter in Old Town Arvada. Johnny Hurley was a good man. He was a legend among us. He spoke truth to power. He spoke about the criminal cartel banking system. He spoke out about individual liberties, individual rights. Your First Amendment is followed by your Second Amendment. That's why it's 2 up. I'm bringing peace. I'm bringing love. And I got 1 down because I'm always protecting myself. That is what 2 up, 1 down stands for. And that's what Johnny Hurley stood for. And unfortunately, he is no longer with us because an Arvada police officer shot him in the back, tragically ending his life 5 years ago on June 21st. So, with that being said, on June 21st, 2026, this weekend, I have to find it here, sorry. Beep bop boop bop. Okay, here we go. On June 21st, this Sunday, in Old Town Arvada Square, I'm asking everyone and anyone who knew Johnny, who heard his story, who supports the Second Amendment, who understands that life is precious, who understands the message that Johnny Hurley held and Johnny Hurley stood for. I'm asking everyone to show up on Sunday, June 21st, in Old Town Arvada Square to remember Johnny Hurley and his heroism and what he did for Old Town Arvada. At 1 p.m. on June 21st in Old Town Arvada, please check out herohurley.org for more information. Or just share this video, share this clip with your friends and family and anyone in the Arvada area or anyone in Colorado who's able to make it to learn more about what Johnny did and who Johnny was. And he was... he's one of my best friends who we walked the streets and handed out all kinds of materials and talked to all kinds of people about many different things, about freedom, about truth, about life, about liberty, about justice, about police, about everything under the sun. And Johnny is no longer with us, and his spirit, his fight lives on within me. And I want all of you to join me on Sunday, June 21st at 1 p.m. to honor the hero Johnny Hurley in Old Town, Arvada. Thank you. Thank you. And without further ado, we're getting into it because we got some stuff to talk about, folks. Holy cow. Okay? What kind of world are we living in? Smash that thumbs up button. Let's get it going because holy crap, we have got quite the story. Quite the story on our hands, folks. I went down to Old Town Arvada. Excuse me. I just got done saying Old Town Arvada. My brain's thinking about Old Town, but it's all part of Arvada, right? We're all in the same area. But the Arvada Center is in Arvada, Colorado. Hence the name. I am stumbling over my words now. It's fine. It's okay. Gandalf, what do you got to say? Jeez. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just take a beat. Let me take a beat here. Okay. Okay. This here is the drag queen known as Shirley Delta Blow. Okay? And now Shirley Delta Blow showed up at the Arvada Center to read storybooks and various different books for children at a drag queen story time. So, I went in, I got some information, I asked some questions, we got some videos here, and I want to show you some stuff, okay? Because I want you guys to understand where we're coming from, okay? Let me see if I can make this large, okay? Hold on. So, let me preface this with you real quick, okay? Because this was before, actually, hold on. Let me show you this, okay? Because this was all before the act. This was prior to drag queen Shirley Delta Blow reading to these children as young as 2 years old, mind you. The average age I would say was about, I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe. I don't even think anyone was over the age of 7 there. But they were targeting children from like 2 to 7, 2 to 6. Very, kindergarten age children. Very prepubescent age children. Okay? And there were many different people there. I would argue, in my opinion, these parents should be, charged with some degree of child abuse, because I believe this is truly indoctrination. But I went in there and I had a conversation, and I tried to ask questions about where the money comes from. Where does this money come from? How is this drag queen story time being funded? Okay, so prior to confronting the individual at the Arvada Center running the show and Eli from Parasol Patrol, prior to that, I took a little walk around. I wanted to see what was being thrown out there for the children to do. So let's take a look here. Make your own pride flag. You get to pick all the different ones there. All the different types of pride flags.
Our favorite color is blue. We love it. It's our favorite color. I love it.
History of the pride flag.
Yes. Yep.
So, got coloring tables for everyone to come color make their own pride flag. Wow. All right. Pretty incredible. So, point is this. When liberals try to defend drag queen story time by saying it's just reading books, they are lying. These events prime and groom young minds into the LGBTQAI plus LMNOP 2S cult. Prepubescent children don't have any sexual identity understanding. This is a generational war of ideology. We have to stand up against this, folks. And prior to You know, that was me. And these are some of the books. This was some of the books. Oh, that's not the button I wanted to press. This here is some of the books that they were showing, and that this is part of the Jefferson County Public Library school curriculum. Okay? The Golden Boys, Guide to Bipolar by Sonora Reyes. Best-selling and award-winning author of The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School. Okay? And now, this is the infold. This is the inseam. Okay? Let's take a read. Let's take a read and understand. Now, to be clear, this is obviously geared towards preteens, adolescents, maybe high school-aged queer identities, okay? So it's not quite specifically for children of prepubescent younger ages like these children at the Drag Queen Storytime, mind you, but this is the kind of content that's being put out there, okay? 17-year-old Cesar Flores is finally ready to win back his ex-boyfriend. Since breaking up with Jamal in a last-ditch effort to stay in the closet, he's come out to Miami, his sister, and their friends, taken his meds faithfully, and gotten his therapist's blessing to reunite with Jamal. Everything would be perfect if it weren't for the thoughts, intrusive, ridiculing, and riddled with Catholic guilt. The louder they become, the more Cesar once again convinced that he doesn't deserve someone like Jamal, or anyone really. Cesar can make a fair amount of shame and behind jokes and his, quote, gifted reputation. But when a manic episode makes his inner turmoil impossible to hide, it's faced with a stark choice. Burn every bridge he has left, or worse, ask for help. But is the mortifying vulnerability of being loved by the people he's hurt the most a risk he's willing to take? Folks, what kind of rom-com drama is this for the LGBTQAI elemental P2S123 cult? Is it? Holy cow. Folks, you know, everyone can read whatever book, whatever kind of literature they want, okay? But my problem is, my biggest complaint is the fact that they are gearing this and they are targeting towards children under adult age of consent. That is my biggest concern. That is my biggest problem that I have with these drag queen story times, okay? Let's continue. Let's get into it here, okay? Now, I'm going to pause it. I went to the local drag queen story time so you didn't have to. I wanted to see who's putting on the event and funding it. I met Eli from Parasol Patrol, and I met Clark from the Arvada Center. Clark claims that this was funded by the Arvada Center, and it's a non-profit. So the tax dollars were not being used. However, that's not entirely true. The Arvada Center does receive public funds via tax dollars. Well, who would have thought, right? The Arvada Center for the Arts and Humanities is a 501c3 nonprofit in Arvada, Colorado, and it does receive public funds. Its primary public funding source includes the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, the SCFD. This is a voter-approved regional sales tax district, 0.1% tax, across 7 Colorado counties that distribute public tax dollars to arts, culture, and science organizations. The Arvada Center is a Tier 2 SCFD funded organization and has received major funding from it. For example, about 9% of its revenue in fiscal year 24. It actively supports SCFD reauthorization and is listed among SCFD's funded partners. The city of Arvada also funds the Arvada Center. The center has a long-standing public partnership with the city of Arvada, city-supported initiative. The city is explicitly listed among its key supporters on the center's website alongside SCFD. Historical records and positive descriptions reference ongoing relationships and a city involvement. The center's own website highlights these public supporters with logos and the city of SCFD and the city of Arvada, and notes that as a nonprofit, it also relies on private philanthropic donations, ticket sales, sponsorships, and other earned revenue. It maintains a grant writer on staff and has been eligible for various grants over time. Financial filings Form 990's ProPublica show contributions, which includes grant from public and private sources, making up a significant portion of revenue, alongside program service revenue. In short, while the center depends on a mix of public and private support, it clearly receives public funds through FCFD, tax-supported, and the city of Arvada. Okay? So, with that being said, with that being all dialed in, and you guys got that information now, let's watch this video, because I went to the Arvada Center before the Drag Queen Storytime took place, and I asked these people questions about who was funding this. And I was trying to basically do a taxpayer audit. I wanted to show up and say, hey, who's funding this? What's going on? So let's take a listen. Excuse me. I recognize the shirt.
Yes.
Corey with Break the Chains Media. What was your name?
Eli.
Eli. I was trying to figure out who was putting this on. Was it? Are you guys involved or help with the county doing this?
That is all Arvada Center and Michigan.
So
Arvada Center.
So the Arvada Center is putting this on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is that being funded with tax dollars for? Or how's it being funded to put on this on?
We're an independent nonprofit.
Oh, okay. So the nonprofit that works with the Arvada Center?
No, the Arvada Center is a nonprofit.
The Arvada Center itself is a nonprofit. And so this is all put in through them and donors and whatever else?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. And what was your name?
It's Clark.
Clark. My name's Corey.
Corey?
Corey, yeah. And I just live down the street, and I just wanted to come see how everything's working here as a I guess a taxpayer audit to kind of see. But since it's not being paid by taxpayers, it's all nonprofit through the Arvada Center.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Are you
Awesome.
worried about how tax dollars are spent, or
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, just trying
you
to.
don't want them to be spent on this?
I absolutely don't want tax dollars to be spent on this. I mean, it's great that they're able to find their own ways through nonprofits and NGOs to do that, but at least it's not my tax dollars indoctrinating children.
Okay.
So
Well, and of course you're welcome here.
yeah, I'm gonna hang out and
Hope you're
check
not
out
gonna
and see how it is.
disturb anything.
No, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't want to do that. So I just want to kind of see how everything operates and make sure these kids are obviously getting taken care of. And
Have you seen one before?
I've seen a couple, and I just haven't had the opportunity in person to see one. So that's kind of why I'm here.
Yeah. Just read a few books, and that's about it.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll check it out. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, though. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Need anything? Just let me know.
All right. Yeah. So with that being said, folks, I obviously, and for anyone who hasn't followed the channel for a little while, I have a grab bag of different strategies and tactics that I use when I speak to people like this, when I have conversations with individuals, when I confront people with opposing views of my own. I do have different ways and strategies that I do talk to people, and I do think that it's rather important to make sure that you're not immediately shutting them out and shutting them down. Because what it comes down to, and I wanted to get information, I did not want to be a person of contention, right? I thought about, do I go in guns blazing? Do I start screaming and hollering and, pull, as much as I love Alex Stein, don't get me wrong, pimp on a blimp, primetime Alex Stein, love the guy, but there are ways to approach a difficult situation and you actually get more information than if you were to just come in immediately defensive, guns, and like holding down, right? So I went there and I was very polite, very, respectful, just kind of looked around, had my camera, asked questions, and sat there, recorded some bits, and then when I was done, when I felt like I got what I needed, I just walked, I left, and I walked away. And then I had other conversations with other people out front. So I did not cause any disturbance, as Clark so poignantly made sure to make a point of. And actually, right after this interaction I had with Clark, Arvada police came up, and I shook the Arvada police officer's hand. I didn't actually record that at the time, but the Arvada police came up, and we kind of, I explained I'm just here to kind of observe and report, and just kind of see how it all operates, and check out a drag queen story time in person. So, with that being said, folks, I posted some of these on my Twitter account. You can check my Twitter at Break the Chains M. Hey, what's going on, Free State? Let's go. You get that treasure chest, bro. Let's go. Free State, Colorado in the chat. What is up? Thanks for being here, man. So, with these drag queen story times, right? This is probably the most mundane example of a drag queen story time. Okay? This person, let me see here. Let me find it. No. This. I posted, yeah. So this was one of the clips of one of the books that Shirley Delta Blow was reading. This individual, this man in a dress, read about 5 books, 4 or 5, definitely kindergarten aged books to this group of children, about, loving who you are and be who you are and grow wings and children with identity crisis. All these books are geared towards the conversation regarding LGBTQAIP LMNO 1 2 3. This is the books that they're reading. They're not reading, the Three Little Pigs. They're not reading traditional, children's books. They are picking specific type of books, specific gender ideology types of books. So let's take a listen here. This is one of the books that they were reading.
Deserves to be loved. So always love yourself and be who you are.
Be who you are.
That's Be Who You Are by Todd Parr. I love that story.
Listen to that person in the background sitting next to me. I love that story. Let's hear it again.
I love that story.
So one of the many clips, one of the many opportunities, that these men in dresses read to children. But let's and you can actually watch these other ones. I mean, like, some of these got some pretty good views. But if you wanted to see some of these, you know what? We'll show this one. We'll show this one
outside,
because this one is actually pretty telling, pretty damning when you think about it. Just because it's very strange that this man in a dress, in makeup, and flamboyantly over-exaggerated, characterization of a woman, a man wearing all of this, is speaking to children, and this story in particular that he was talking about was about one of his class. Oh, excuse me, I didn't even tell you guys. This dude's an elementary school teacher in Adams County. This drag queen, Shirley Delta Blow, is a elementary school teacher in Adams County, Colorado. Adams 12. So, with that being said, drag queen Shirley Delta Blow, as a elementary school teacher, can't think of his name off the top of my head right now as his personal name, but neither here nor there. Look it up. You can find it, I'm sure. Was telling one of his elementary school kids about his online presence. So let's watch this one, okay? This is wild. This is wild. I'm glad I caught this one.
One day we had indoor recess because the weather was frightful or something outside, and so it's free, unstructured time in the class. Kids can draw or write or hang out with their friends or sit and chat, whatever they want to do. So I said, okay, let's have some time. And this girl walks up to me and says, can I get on my computer? And I was like, Yes, you can. It's your unstructured to do whatever you want. What are you going to do on your computer? She goes, I'm going to Google you. Okay, sister, well, you better buckle up. Because there's going to be some pictures of your teacher that don't look like your teacher today, so just be aware. She goes and Googles, they go off to lunch, I go up to my lunch, and after lunch, every day we do a little read aloud to get us a nice transition from our recess time, our free time, back into our structured learning time. And so I said, come on in, class, we're going to do some read aloud, have a seat on the carpet. Who is ready for read aloud? And she was the last one in the room, and she sat down, and everyone says, yes! And she goes, yes, queen. And I was like, okay, I see you, but I think more importantly today, you see me. That's right. That's right. Okay, friends.
You see me. Listen. Let's wrap this up a little bit. Let's put a nice little rainbow on this. See what I did there? Come on, guys. Come on, you gotta laugh about it. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh sometimes, right? But listen. Let's call it for what it is. This is gender ideology being indoctrinated into unbeknownst children who don't even have an idea or a concept of what it means to have sexual attraction or feelings for other individuals because they are prepubescent children. Okay? And now I'm not saying that the books that they're reading are geared, are sexual in nature. At least all the things there that I saw, everything that I saw in my time at the Drag Queen Storytime hosted by the Arvada Center was on the PG level. It was on the up and up as far as age appropriate as far as sexual material. With a huge asterisk. That's a huge asterisk, folks. Because when I say that, indoctrinating individuals about their gender expression, about how they feel about their bodies, about their private parts, about the emotions that they feel, or further inquisitive nature into that discussion for a child, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 7-year-old, whatever, okay? For children who don't even fully understand what it means, their brains are still developing. For these adult men in makeup and dresses to exclaim that they need to be who you are and be accepting of others and all this, what on the surface sounds like a very good message. But isn't it somewhat hypocritical when you're listening to a full-grown adult man in drag, in makeup, and rainbows, and dresses, and being yes, queen, so slay, like that BS behavior? A full-grown adult man acting that way to children to say, just be who you are, and you don't have to change anything about you to be accepted. Isn't that kind of ironic that someone is changing a lot about themselves to be made a scene, to be made a spectacle of? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Gandalf, have you had enough of the Drag Queen story time?
You shall not pass!
He says it every time. He's got it. Gandalf's got it, dude. Gandalf's got it. Stouffer84 in the chat. What is up? Appreciate you being here, man. Rock and roll. Oh, there we go. I got a little hang up here. Hold on. Am I dropping frames? Hold on. That was weird. All right. What do we got? Where are we at? Yeah. Wood Chipper 2026, Jerry Lewis. I see that. Stouffer84 says, looks like the Arvada Center is linked structurally to a City of Arvada. City of Arvada owns the building they use. More research is needed because I would say the same of their operation does not come from our taxes. Yeah. And it says funding from foundations. Those foundations probably have some tax money too. Yep. That's how many do it. Funnel through. Yeah. And that's the biggest problem, Stouffer. And I think you're hitting it on the head. It's this layer upon layer of structured NGO'd, structured foundations and organizations and networks and all these things. And this is how they launder the money. This is the Nick Shirley agenda. This is what Nick Shirley's trying to expose. This is what many different people across many different places are trying to expose, how the grift is taking place, right? How these operations are being done, because this is how they do it. Okay? This is what they do. This is how they do it. They find good institutions that take lots of money in, and then they throw it around and indoctrinate and promote their ideology and promote their agenda. Right? That is the long-term play. And it's an attack on our children. It's an attack on our generational wealth. It's an attack on our future. It's an attack on society. To perpetuate this kind of era, to perpetuate this kind of feeling, it's rather sickening. And if you want to dress up as a freaking drag queen, unicorn, fairy, godmother, stardust, stripper pole dancing trash, as an adult in an adult setting for an 18 and up club or 21 and up club, go do it on your own time. Why is it always the children? That's what I want to know. I should probably record that. I didn't record that. I live streamed it, but I didn't record it, so I'm gonna have to do that again. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. So listen, if you want to dress up with makeup and rainbow hair, unicorns, fairy stardust, pixies out your behind, dresses and high heels. If you want to be a full-grown man doing that, if you want to be a full-grown woman dressing up like a butch lumberjack, you want to do that as an adult at an 18 and up club or a 21 and up club for adults, for adult purposes, for adult entertainment, by all means, have at it. Go have fun with the adults. But here's the question that always remains. Why is it always the children that you're focusing on? Why are you always coming to do drag queen story time with the children? I've had enough, and I'm sick and tired of seeing this ideological indoctrination taking place, and it's destroying our generations, and it's destroying our future, and it's destroying our society. So stay out of the children's minds. Let them grow. Let them be children. Do not infect them with your delusional fantasy, fan fiction, it's almost like it's a fetish, right? These people dress up to this performative art like it's some sort of fetish. And I truly feel like some of these people get off on doing this in front of children. It's sickening. It's gross. And I hate it. I've had enough of it. That's why I showed up there. That's why I'm making us think about it. And especially if they're using our tax dollars to do something like this with it, through the Arvada Center, through the city of Arvada getting funded, through public donations, through nonprofits, all shell corporations, all shell companies, and donations and grants, and you have it. That's how they play the game. We got to call them out. We got to expose them, okay? Some people say, oh, what about kids always got to see clowns, or they always got to see mimes. Remember all the mimes, and they did all their funny little mime jokes that they did without words, and they all dressed up in makeup and funny outfits? Clowns dressed up in makeup and funny outfits? Now we're looking at drag queens dressing up with makeup and funny outfits. They are the clowns of the modern generation. So these kids are going to be growing up being like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I didn't really see any clowns with the big red nose and the goofy shoes, but I did see drag queens with blown up hair and fake boobs on, adults, men. That's the kind of stuff we're dealing with here, folks. Holy cow. Fired up. Yeah. All right. Just, that's how it is, right? We need to rethink politics in America. Politics has been ruining America over a century. Can we turn it around? Jerry Lewis, I am hoping to, and that's actually what we're going to do. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all jumping in. Smash that thumbs up button. Share this stream with your friends and family. We can't do it without viewers like you. You know, I am my own man. I'm the producer. I'm the editor. I'm the man on the street. I am the content creator. I am the man, the myth, the legend. But something that I think that is super important that everyone needs to get involved with is exactly what Jerry said, is how can we turn it around, right? How do we turn it around in America? How do we rethink politics, right? One way to do that is to get networked with your local communities, find your local meetups, find your local, places to show up and be a part of. See if there's, reach out to your county commissioner, reach out to your your local county office and see if there's any get-togethers, party affiliations, just meet and greets. I know there's a men's club that always meets, but like these are the things we have to kind of start with, kind of showing back up on. But a great way that we could do this here in the end of the month, the Rocky Mountain Voice is having their Rocky Mountain Voice Freedom Fest. This is going to be an excellent 2-day event. I highly encourage everyone to check it out. Go to rmbfreedomfest.com to pick up your tickets if you want to get a 1-day pass or a 2-day pass or a premium platinum pass. Many different prices for many different levels. You're going to have Laura Logan there, Greg Gutfeld, the legend, Nick Shirley, the legend, our own Colorado County Clerk Tina Peters is going to be there. So, folks, I'm going to send this out in the chat. If you want to check out Rocky Mountain Voice Freedom Fest, tickets as cheap as $45. You can get in for $45 to come see one of the events. It includes rodeo. It includes stuff for the kids. It includes candidate meet and greet on Saturday. So this is a great way to not only support a movement but get involved and meet other like-minded people, man. Because that is what we need to do. What we need to be a part of is showing up and being a part of that change, of that dynamic. And I know, some people say, prices are a little steep, and sure, like, I'm not asking everyone to drop a lot of money on the top tier stuff, but if you can, you should, because I think seeing Nick Shirley, Greg Gutfeld coming to these the Back the Blue Police Gala, you're gonna be able to support the local police and local community. I mean, like, I think that's awesome. This is a great way to reinvigorate a conservative base in Colorado. So, with that being said, we are going to be doing a candidate roundup. Now we're going into the candidate roundup here on Break the Chains Media. So smash that thumbs up button. Be a part of the Chain Gang. We do live streams now basically whenever I feel like it, because summer's crazy, summer's busy, got a lot of stuff happening, but I show up and I do what I can when I can. So thank you all for being here on the live stream. Rock and roll. Stouffer, at least my liberal brother that does Kesha parties and dresses like Kesha, when he does, just goes to adult venues. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's great. I mean, like, live your best life. No one's saying you can't do that. I'm just saying two things in particular. Don't use my tax dollars to indoctrinate children, and stay away from children. It's pretty simple, right? I think it's pretty simple. Not a hard ask. It's not a hard ask. But, all right, folks, we're getting into it. We're going to be doing the Colorado Conservative Candidate Roundup. So let's light up them chainsaws. Let's cut through all that bullshit. Let's cut through all of the liberal indoctrination. Let's start a clean slate. Let's drop those trees. Let's clean up Colorado and get some good conservatives in the state house, in the state legislature. So let's check it out here. I've got a lot here, and this is the pinned comment at the top of my Twitter channel. So if you want to follow Break the Chains M, shout it out, share the video, share this post for Colorado Patriots. If we want to take back our state from the cultural Marxists in control, we're going to need to focus on more than just the governor's seat. In the comments below, post all the great candidates that we need to follow and support. Share it. How many do we got? folks, we got a lot in here, dude. We got Ron Hanks for CD3. We've got Jason Nienhauser for Mayor of Colorado Springs. Bob Davis for House District 44. Got a lot of good people showing up in the comments on this post. But this is going to be your landing page for anyone and everyone in the Colorado area. All 64 counties, Senate seats, county commissioners, school boards, you name it. We got Rich Guggenheim for SD 25, Scott Shamlin for 61, Daniel Frick for 53, Teddy Collins for SD4. So we got a lot of good people here, but I'm going to focus on a few other ones that I just wanted to highlight in particular when we're doing like a kind of like a rundown of just like a couple of the quick ones here. So this one is close to home, folks. This one hits close to home, but this one, highly encourage anyone in the entire state of Colorado. You can go to anybody's kickoff event and you can support good candidates that you represent, that you feel like they're going to be doing the best job for Colorado in their seat. So you might not even live in these people's districts, but you can still donate to these people if you believe in their messaging, okay? Christopher Johnson for HD 24. Campaign kickoff party is going to be on June 25th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Christopher Johnson is a sixth-generation Coloradan, single father, and a proven leader, a pinnacle activist in the Colorado community, in Arvada, in Golden. He's worked with youth groups. He's worked with the fire department. He's done excellent things for his community, and now he's stepping up as the HD 24 representative candidate in hopes to win that seat in the midterms. So we need you all to show up for his kickoff party. We've got an RSV QR code there. You can scan that. You can sign up. You can be a part of the RSVP. Seating is limited, but we want everyone that can show up, that wants to show up, to be there. So Christopher Johnson's campaign kickoff event, June 25th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Christopher Johnson for HD24. His website is johnson4colorado.org. That's the number 4. Johnson, number 4, Colorado.org. Candidate for Colorado State House of Representatives for the 24th District, fighting for the hardworking families across Jefferson County. Together, we can build safer neighborhoods, better schools, and a thriving local economy. Christopher Johnson is a sixth-generation Coloradan, successful entrepreneur, and a dedicated community servant. For 23 years, he built and operated his own low-voltage automation company. When family called, he made the selfless decision to close his business and become a full-time single father to his young son and primary caregiver to his aging mother. Christopher now works in commercial fire protection and remains deeply involved in his community. He coaches youth baseball and football, serves as a vice president for the Golden Youth Football Association, and previously led the Challenger Division, giving young athletes with disabilities the opportunity to build confidence and character through sports. He is ready to bring that same commitment, leadership, and dedication to House District 24 in the Colorado State Assembly. So, folks, in Arvada, in Golden, in the North Jeffco area, go check out Christopher Johnson for House District 24. That's Johnson 4, number 4, Colorado.org. Now, we're just going to keep running through it, folks, because that's what we do here. That's what we do here. If you're in Lakewood, if you're down a little bit south, a little bit further south, House District 23 in Jefferson County, okay? Ross Mettler is running for the House Representatives. House District 23, Ross Mettler is running for House District 23 for every neighbor in Jeffco. Learn more. Ross is a software developer and data analyst with a background in physical science. He builds civics data tools that makes public information, campaign finance, and voting records, public meetings easier for ordinary people to find and understand. That work is the same and distinct behind his campaign. Government should be legible to the people who pay for it. As a resident of Wheat Ridge, Ross has watched HD23 deal with the same problems that most of Colorado is dealing with. Housing that's gotten out of reach, property tax bills climbing on flat values, schools tightening their belts, corridor projects that challenge daily life without much explanation, and he's running because the people closest to those problems deserve a representative who will be straight out about what the legislature can fix, what it can't, and what is broke in the first place. Okay? So, if you want to support Ross for Colorado, Ross Mettler, go to Ross, the number 4, co.com. That's Ross4co.com, House District 23. All right, this is my guy here. Folks, I know we got a lot of people asking questions about the Attorney General's race. What's happening with the Attorney General race? We got Michael Allen, the DA that's down in I want to say it's Mesa County. So Mesa County, El Paso County, down south, Douglas County, Teller County areas down there. You got Michael Allen running for AG, but you also have the sleeper candidate, in my opinion, David Wilson, okay? You got David Wilson running for AG as well. So, David Wilson running for AG. David Wilson's running for Colorado Attorney General in this primary race in Colorado. So on June 30th, you show up, you be involved, you vote. You show up, okay? David Wilson, the Republican candidate for Colorado Attorney General. Restore justice, defend liberty, and protect Colorado. That is David Wilson's message, okay? David Wilson is a retired U.S. Army attorney, former prosecutor, a cybersecurity professional, and a longtime Colorado advocate running for Attorney General to restore accountability, defend our constitutional rights, and protect Colorado families. David served more than 20 years in the U.S. Army, where he prosecuted criminal cases, served as a special assistant in the U.S. Attorney, and worked in defense counsel, and later focused on international and operational law. He earned an advanced law degree in international law and intellectual property law with an emphasis on information technology. Then worked at the NSA on cybersecurity, network defense, and cyber operations, helping support the development of what became Cybercom and R4 Cyber Force. Okay? Sounds like he's got really good qualifications. If he's been this involved not only in the Army and data and cybersecurity, but he's also a prosecutor, he's got a lot of boxes checked off, man. He's looking good in my eyes. After settling in Colorado with his wife, David became a cybersecurity consultant, advising companies on data breaches, cyber threats, and recovery. He later spent 10 years representing parents in dependency and neglect cases, standing behind families during some of their most difficult battles. Since 2020, David fought against the COVID mandates and government overreach. Let's go! Let's go! Helping military service members, doctors, and Colorado citizens defend their rights. He is running for Attorney General to fight for election integrity, parental rights, and public safety, and the rule of law and government accountability. Man, this guy is just knocking it out of the park. David and his wife have been married for nearly 36 years and have 5 children. He is not running for a political title. He is running to serve, fix what he can, and give the people of Colorado a voice. Excellent man for the job, in my opinion. I think David Wilson for Attorney General is a great choice. If you want to get out there, if you want to represent Colorado, if you want to see a turnaround, go to www.david4ag.org. That's David4ag.org to check out David Wilson and be a part of the movement, be a part of his campaign, and let's get him as Colorado Attorney General. That's sweet. You got Tim Bennett. You got excellent guy, Tim Bennett. I think we spoke about Tim Bennett a few different times. I can play his video, maybe.
I've lived in Colorado 50.
I don't know if we've played his video before. We can play his video if you want. Do I have any other ones? I think that was the last one. Oh yeah, Will Schweitzer. Yeah, let's do William Schweitzer first, and then we'll do Tim Bennett last. We'll end with Tim. William Schweitzer is running for House District 30. That's gonna be Lakewood, Edgewater. Okay, this area out here in North Jeffco again, and his website is William Schweitzer for Colorado. No letters. But William Schweitzer for Colorado.com, and he is running for House District 30. If you want to be involved, if you want to jump in his campaign, young kid, energized and passionate about politics, great mindset, really wants to rein the government back, bring it down, okay? Because that's what we need in government politics, right? My name is William Schweitzer, and that is exactly why. Hold on. I have to read this other part first. We must put people over politics in order to move Colorado forward. My name is William Schweitzer, and that is exactly what my campaign for House District 30 is committed to doing. I am running to help redirect the future of our state. I believe the neighborhoods of Lakewood and Edgewater deserve better representation because HD 30 does not need another out-of-touch politician. What our community needs now is a representative with a vision of a stronger, more unified future. We need a builder, and I have the experience. I have created startups, strengthened business operations, and consulted effective leaders on the local and national level. My business and organizational skill sets match my master's degree in public policy and have prepared me to step into this role on day one and contribute immediately with our mission on restoring common sense and bipartisanship to our local state house. I am committed to leading this charge, and my priority is answering to you, the people, not a political party. I'm asking you to join us in building the government that works for the people again. Let me earn your vote. Shout out to William Schweitzer for House District 30. If you are in that area, if you are involved with politics, go check it out. Go be involved. Go spread the word. Let's get him some backing. Let's get him some volunteers. Let's get some street action going, right? Excellent. That is William Schweitzer for Colorado.com. That's his website. All right. Tim Bennett, my man Tim Bennett. Rounding out this Colorado conservative candidate roundup, bringing it on home with Tim Bennett, okay? Tim Bennett for United States Congress, Congressional District 7. He's taking on Brittany Peterson, okay? He's taking on Brittany Peterson. Peterson, I don't know, whatever, right? Tim Bennett for U.S. Congress. Tim Bennett for CD7. Tim Bennett is running for Congress. Tim Bennett, Congressional District CD7 here in Colorado. His website is Tim Bennett with 2 T's for Congress.com. So he is running against Baby Prop Barbie. He's running against Brittany Peterson. Okay? Tim Bennett is my guy. He's representing us in the largest county, Tim Bennett's representing one of the largest congressional district areas of Colorado here, right? And Tim Bennett is just trying to bring common sense back to Washington. He's going to be the voice of the people rather than being a political pulpit like Baby Prop Barbie is. She is being used. She's being manipulated. She's being puppet stringed. It's very obvious if you look into it for more than 5 minutes. Brittany Peterson is currently my congressional representative, and I don't think she even has any inkling of what I would like to see done on a national level in D.C. Tim Bennett is going to be that guy to show up, to get in charge, to make our voices heard at the U.S. Congress level. So let's take a listen to his campaign, his ad campaign here. Maybe we don't have to listen to the whole thing, but let's tune in here. Let's see what he's got to say.
I've lived in Colorado 50 years, and during that time, Colorado was always known as a place where families of all income levels could come, prosper, and live in the majesty of God's creation. My name's Tim Bennett, and I'm running in Colorado's 7th Congressional District to represent you in Washington, D.C. I'm a single parent, a proud Christian, a veteran with 30 years of service, and things have changed. Do you know anybody who's struggling with healthcare costs? Do you know anybody who's struggling with the cost of living every day? Do you know anybody who's struggling with rent and with mortgages?
Yep.
Due to the failed policies of both parties, Colorado is now the 3rd most expensive state in the union in which to live. As your congressman, I will work tirelessly to ensure that once again, the word affordable is commonplace in Congressional District 7.
Let's make it happen, folks. And that's just half of it. You can go check out his website for the rest or check him out on YouTube. But TimBennettForCongress.com for Colorado's 7th Congressional District. I truly think that he has got a chance because no one else is deciding to run because everyone thinks the machine's too entrenched here in Colorado. We can't change it. Folks, if we believe in that, we're going to lose every time. You lose 100% of the chances you don't take, right? We got to make some changes. We got to take some chances. We got to put good people in tough races, and we got to turn this tide around, and I believe we can do it with Tim Bennett for Congress. I also believe that we can do it with all of these other candidates that I spoke on. We've got so many good ones that we brought up. We got Willem Schweitzer. We've got David Wilson for Attorney General, Ross Mettler for House District 23, Christopher Johnson in House District 24. Folks, we've got a great group of people showing up in Colorado, standing up when all seems lost, when all hope is lost. Colorado is not a captured and controlled state. We're sitting here in the beautiful state of Colorado. It is worth fighting for. Colorado is a state worth fighting for. And I'm sick and tired of these individuals saying, oh, it's a lost cause. You might as well just move out. You might as well just move away. Doesn't matter anymore. You know what? It's not off the table for me, but I'm not giving up, folks. I know that things are tough, and I know it's expensive, and I know like cost of living's through the roof. But, you know, Salty Grower, there's my guy. Let's go. Let's go. Round of applause for Salty Grower. Dude, it's okay, dude. I have not been as regular in my streams as I used to be. New job. I got a new job. I got new schedule, so it's hard to kind of balance everything out. And you know, I'm not as frequent on here as I can, but I will. Don't get me wrong. I want to be here as much as I can. So we got to make it happen, right? We got to make it work, right? Cheers, and I salute you. Appreciate you being here, man. But no, folks, I do think that we have to stand up. We have to take a stand. We have to be loud, be vocal. We can't lose to the cultural Marxist in control. Just because they have all these things entrenched does not mean that all things are lost. Because we have to be present. We have to participate. We have to show up. And if we don't show up, they're going to take it over every single time, no matter what anyways. So I'm just saying, like, it's frustrating. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to always be behind the 8 ball when we're talking about these difficult things. I don't want to be stuck here, 7, 10, 15 points behind in an entrenched, Democrat-heavy district or Democrat-heavy state. But when you talk about larger things like election fraud, like election interference, or everything that goes into the conversation as to why states are blue. The last live stream I had, we talked about the fraud that was happening in California, right? So don't get it twisted when I say that the states that are blue are procedurally blue. They've entrenched themselves to show up as blue through their legislative processes. But that means we have to fight even more so, even harder when it comes to being the voice in the crowd, making that choice, making those decisions, being available, making all that change happen. And it starts with us, and it starts now. But we are wrapping up this live stream, folks. I do appreciate everyone being here. And Salty Grower, you know, that's exactly why we have to do it, right? He has two businesses he started here. I'm invested in Colorado. I was born here and my son was born here, and I am ready to defend Colorado with all I have. I am ready to invest more into Colorado than I have already invested. I've worked many different businesses, many different institutions. I would like to see my business flourish in Colorado. And the only way to do that is to take back the state legislature, to take back some of these bureaucratic strangleholds that the communists have taken place on, right? Yeah, Salted Grower. I'm going to get into that DOJ investigation on tomorrow's live stream. But that is wild, and I'm excited. I'm here for it, you know. Shout out to the DOJ investigation on Drenna Griswold. We are proudly supporting that. That's for sure. But without further ado, folks, we're going to be raiding over to the one and only Beanie Compound, Timcast IRL. So without further ado, appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for hanging out on Break the Chains Media. Share these videos with your friends and family. Share the word about these good candidates. And most importantly, fight for freedom and never give up.